You a hoe? You know you a hoe. Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Can your wholeness be deleted? Like, is that a thing? How does it get deleted? Like, what is wholeness? What is a hoe? What qualifies you as a hoe? Like, let's talk about it. Hey y'all, I hope y'all are liking the new setup. I don't know if you guys can see back there, but right there, that little light purple spot is my roses that I got from Rose Forever. And I told you guys about these roses about 8 months ago, and they are still beautiful and holding strong. Rose Forever just recently reached out to me again and sent me a new box that I wanted to tell you guys about. Rose Forever sent over these beautiful, beautiful white roses in this beautiful crystal clear acrylic box. And I wanted to show you my new roses compared to the roses that I've had now for like 8 or 9 months. Bomb. I chose the acrylic case for the pull-out drawer so that I could put it on my vanity and put my essentials in there. And then I also wanted to show you guys what they look like compared to roses from the grocery store. They are real roses. These are I've had for 8 months. Beautiful, no flaws, no brown spots, no holes, no shedding or flaking. They feel exactly like my brand new white ones, which I was like tripping off of. So pretty. Here you have the slide out case. Like I said, I put mine on my vanity so that I can put my essentials in there and all my go-tos and have them right on hand. You guys check out Rose Forever and use my code for 20% off. So make sure to use my code and check them out. Okay, ladies, we got a fun one. We're grown, okay? So we're gonna get into some grown-up topics. Can your wholeness be deleted? So you know how they say like in your late teens, early 20s, you have your hoe phase, or some people refer to it as your college years, where you pretty much, to be politically correct, I guess it's where you explore your sexuality. You hoe out. You might kiss a girl. You might do more with a girl. You might get drunk and invite a guy over and y'all, you know what I'm saying, make it do what it do. But my question is, as an older woman, not older, but as I'm getting older and coming into my womanhood and my, mothering type femininity, can it be deleted? When Draya said that, everybody was laughing. That was one of the first like viral clips when social media kind of first started going viral with videos, and people were laughing at her and calling her crazy. But if I'm not mistaken, she's actually evolved into like a wife and a mother going forward and kind of has changed her image. So I don't know if it's so much can it be deleted, rather more forgiven, I guess you could say. Because let's be real, we've all had our moment where we probably done something that's not morally favorable, hoish, I guess you could say. But then again too, it's like, what is hoism, or what is being a hoe? Because I'm from the West Coast. I'm from San Diego in particular. I'm sure you guys know that by now. I say it in like every video. And I don't know if it's a San Diego thing or a West Coast thing, but out here we have real prostitutes. It's a big thing out here where we have girls who actually get paid to have sex. So just to be clear, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about prostitution. I'm talking about like, I guess sleeping with too many men or being too sexually explorative. Now, me personally, I don't judge. So if I have a friend or, I think I saw a meme one time that said, sorry, I keep jumping around, but I think I saw a meme one time or a post, somebody had posted like, do women tell their friends when they're being a hoe? Like, do y'all ever be like, hey girl, chill out? And my answer to that is, well, yes and no. If she's just, I've never had a friend who's just absolutely out there, where I'm worried for her safety and her health. So, if it got to that point, then yeah, I might step in. But if we're out and you meet a guy and he's nice and he's cool and, you want to go there with him, I'm not gonna stop you. We're grown women, girl, do your thing. Now, if it's to the point where my friend's married or about to get married and she meets a guy and she, wants to sleep with him, I might like, hey girl, you might wanna rethink this one. You know what I'm saying? But I think, call me crazy, and if there's any men watching, they probably won't agree. But I think women should explore their sexuality. Now, does that mean going to have sex with 3 men in a night or getting a train ran on you? Not necessarily, but it might. And I know that seems crazy because it's so politically unacceptable for a woman to want to do those things, but hey, Rady don't judge. Rady ain't gonna judge you. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, that ain't my thing. That's not up my alley. Just because I wouldn't do it doesn't mean it's wrong. Now, I do think women should use discernment, okay? And what I mean by that is, let's say if you are gonna go out and do those things, if you are going to prostitute your body or do sex work, you gotta stand on that. You gotta stand on that, because 3, 4, or 5 years later, you might not do that anymore, and then you might meet a man and you really like him, and then his homeboy, hey, you know, Sheila she was kind of out here. You gotta be able to stand on that, and you gotta be able to explain yourself if and or when that time comes. So one thing my mom always told me is, I remember when I was going into middle school, I'll never forget this, because I thought it was weird at the time because I didn't understand it because I wasn't even having sex yet. But she sat me down. This was like our first, this was like one of our first like real mom-daughter talks. And she sat me down and she told me about my reputation. And I was kind of like, what the hell is this lady talking about? But she was telling me, you know, you're going into middle school and high school and your reputation is everything. Your reputation is everything, so you don't want to get out here and embarrass yourself. And at the time, it didn't really resonate. But as I started getting older, I'm so happy that my mom did have that talk with me, because it matters. So if you are gonna be out here, hey, you gotta be low key, and don't be flip flopping. You can't flip flop, baby. You can't flip flop, because let's say you have those feelings and those desires and you are sexually explorative. Like I said, you have to stand on that. Don't be out here, well, I'm not gonna say don't, because you can do whatever you want to do, but it would behoove you not to act like you're, you know, Saint Mary, and then you, Jocelyn Hernandez, you know what I'm saying, the real you. So, I mean, men are gonna judge, and women are gonna, some women are gonna judge too, but we are women. We are sexual beings. Newsflash, we like sex too, okay? So, I mean, there's a thin line between sexually explorative and open and what society would call a hoe, okay? So, like I said, it's a fine line that we walk as women. And then they got this new thing, body count, okay? So they have this thing to where when you're dating a man, he may or may not ask you, what's your body count? Like men, I guess that's a thing now where they ask, like, how many men have you had sex with? And then I guess the rule of thumb is you're supposed to times that by 3, and that's her real answer, because she's gonna lie. Which is actually funny, but you know, shit is only funny when it's true. So, I mean, that's what they say or whatever. But ladies, and this is, y'all not gonna like me for this next comment, but we always say, oh, we should do what we want to do, and let us be us, and let us, you know, be sexually explorative, and don't judge us, and if we want to twerk, we want to twerk. And I agree, and I 100% agree. But then, like I said, you gotta stand on that, because if a man meets you and he doesn't like women that twerk, he doesn't like women with high body counts, he doesn't like women who are or used to be sexually explorative, that's his right too. He can do that. He's allowed to say, I don't like that. I don't like women who twerk. And you can't be mad at that. You're not for him. There's women who don't like to twerk, who are very, I don't want to say prudish, because that sounds like it's negative. It's not to respect your body and not want to have a high body count, or you know, have to have only 0 or no partners, or to really respect your virginity. There's nothing wrong with that. That's actually a great thing. And I'm sure there's men who love that. You know, and like I said, in reverse, there's men who love for their woman to twerk, who like a girl with some experience, who know how to, you know what I'm saying? There's men who would actually appreciate that. So there's different strokes for different folks. I know a girl, like I said, I'm from San Diego, and I'm not gonna put nobody on blast, but I know women who hold down prostitutes, like walking the blade, turning tricks, who have gotten married to good men. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, different strokes for different folks. You can't judge, and you can't live your life based on what people might think about you. Again, you gotta stand on that. Whatever, you know, happens after that is your, I guess, right. Like me personally, you guys know, I used to dance. I used to be a dancer. And I remember when I used to dance, I used to always think like, dang, how am I gonna tell my future husband, or how am I gonna explain this to my kids? Which I never had to, thank God. I never had to explain that to my kids, but it's something I used to think about. It's something I used to think about. And I'm like, thank God, whew, thank the Lord above that my wild times were way before social media was even thought of, way before camera phones and all. Well, I think there were camera phones, but we weren't on them like that. So there's no evidence, thank you God, of my crazy times. But that's something I used to think about, like how would they judge me? And I remember when I used to dance, some weekends I would take off and I would go out with my friends and I would meet a guy, and of course the first thing they ask is, you know, what do you do? Or you know, and we would have, the code word was like waitress. Oh, we're waitresses, or we work at a restaurant, or we bartend. But because, you know, I didn't want to be judged, and I was scared of being judged. And like I said, that was years ago. But even now, I always feel like it's important for me to tell men I date about that part of my life, because I don't want it to come up later, and you don't know how, again, you don't know how they may feel about it. You know, in my experience, I've never had a guy have a problem with it, except for one, and that was as I was doing it. I remember I was dating this one guy. This was as I was actively still dancing, and he did not like it. He hated it. And he called me a hoe, you know, and he would say a lot of really mean things, and that is what made me scared to tell men about it going forward. But I always did, and they've never had a problem with it. I mean, never, ever, ever judged me or anything. So luckily, in my experience, that hasn't been a problem for me, but that's just up until now. I'm in a relationship now, so, you know, I don't have to worry about that. But let's say I do have to go back out there and date again. There might be a man that's not okay with that, or he can't handle that. You know what I'm saying? He can't handle the fact that a woman that he wants to, you know, raise kids with or start a family with used to do something like that. It just don't sit right. For example, let's switch the roles a little bit. Let's switch it. We gotta switch it, ladies. Let's say you meet a man, right? He's this great, tall, chocolatey, muscly, ooh, well moisturized, tatted up. Like, let's say he's Michael B. Jordan, but like tatted with a little bit of a rougher edge to him, right? And y'all kicking it. He's a fucking gentleman. You guys happen to go there. The sex is ooh-wee fire, right? And then he tells you that in his 20s, he used to date men.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
He doesn't do it no more, but he was exploring his sexuality and he dated a few men. How would you feel? Now, me personally, that's a deal breaker for me personally. But there's some women who might be okay with that because maybe they explore with other women, or maybe they are, you know, I don't know all the new LGBTQ, the sexuality spectrum. She might understand that. Me being more traditional, that's a no-go for me. So again, ladies, you gotta be understanding. Fellas too, especially with, you know, how can I say it? With the, I guess you could say, like, divide in the Black community. I feel like we hate each other for everything. Oh, she used to be a hoe. Oh, he ain't got no money. She's overweight. He's too short. It's like, y'all, you're never, like, stop it. I like togetherness. I like to see couples thriving and happy together. So just give people a chance. Don't date for others. Don't date for what your friends are gonna say, or what your mom is gonna say, or memes on social media, or what the gurus are saying. Date for you. Find somebody who's cool. Find somebody who understands you and speaks your language and your love language. Find somebody who loves you, your family, and your children. And find somebody who makes you happy. They might not be gorgeous. They might have 2 or 3 kids. They might have a past. Stop, and I'm talking to myself here because I used to do this. Stop looking for perfection. Now, I didn't say don't have boundaries, because there's some things that are absolute no-goes that people are not going to deal with. For example, if you used to date a man whose baby mama gave you hell, you probably gonna steer clear of men with children. Or if you used to date a woman and then you found out she had sex with 4 of your homeboys, you probably might ask for body count. You know what I'm saying? It's understandable. All I'm saying is pick and choose, you guys. Let's love on each other a little more, because it's crazy out here. Let's just love and give each other a chance. So at the end of the day, can your wholeness be deleted? My personal answer is no, it cannot be deleted, because if you was getting your hoo-ha ran through, baby, your hoo-ha still ran through. But it can be forgiven or understood. So that's all I got for you guys. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.